Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Shane Williams with The Stand. Tonight, you are joined only by me, Shane Williams. George and Lance had other things going on, and so they couldn't make it tonight. So, where to begin? As the headline says, as the title says, the death of the NFL. I really think that, this is truly a turning point for him. Even though I don't watch sports anymore, because I'm so involved in politics now that, this could really be a bad thing for him. So I truly think that this is a turning point for him, hopefully a big wake-up call, because, of what's going on to the NFL. We're also going to be talking about, let's see, I got all my articles up here on my computer. Saudi Arabia agrees to let women drive finally after centuries of oppressing women and basically keeping them in beekeeper suits. They finally get a chance to drive. Now they sort of experimented with this. I believe it was last year where they can go out at night and actually ride in bumper cars. What a great country, but the liberal left, wants to include them and want them, to be part of our culture and society. I mean, is this really what we want our women to be? I mean, are we going to start adapting their way of life and everything? Where our women here in America who's been driving for, I don't know, for a very long time, since the 20s. Are we just going to let them? Are we going to stop them now? Just crazy stuff. Also, we're going to be talking about the Obamacare. How it tries to, obviously it didn't make it, so we'll be talking about that, along with a couple other things that I saw and I just want to bring up. So, of course, we're going to be just diving right into the whole NFL. Now, the NFL thing, like I mentioned, it's pay for play. Unfortunately, doing my research and stuff like that, and it's just, and I'm so glad that I stopped watching the damn thing, because it's America's greatest distraction, and people for, a couple months out of the year from, beginning, even before the season begins, to up to the Super Bowl, to even 3 months after the Super Bowl, people are just so pumped up about this damn sport. It's disgusting. And while things are happening around the U.S. and throughout the world, they're more concerned about who's going to be on their team, what stats have been going on with their players, with their team, who's going where. And, they know more about the individual players' stats and their record and the win and loss and everything else, other bullcrap, that they forget who their own presidents are. They forget who Thomas Jefferson was, what he stood for. They forget who Benjamin Franklin, George Washington, Paul Revere. They forget Alexander Hamilton, even though he's now been brought up because he's now the hero of the left. But they also forget, the other people who made this country great, and those are actually being the American soldiers. Now, it's your right, whether you want to, salute the flag, not salute the flag, kneel or whatever. But, it's a great disrespect for those who fought and died for the country, so you can have the freedoms that you are protesting against. It's a huge kick in the junk, and it's a kick in the balls to me, my family. I don't know if you guys can see that picture behind. I know it's sort of blurry because it's old as hell. But anyways, that's my super great uncle Jasper back there. I sort of tried switching it up because the last time I got a couple comments saying that the eagle behind me, when I was like this, sort of looked like horns. So moved it over just a bit. I put my uncle Jasper up there so you guys can look and see that I'm not making it up, that he was a real person, one of my great ancestors who fought for the Union all those years ago in the Civil War. So our ancestors who fight and died for this country, and those who are still fighting and dying for this country because they believe in something, because they want this thing, this social experiment that they call America to thrive and succeed, because we made the volunteer sacrifice to go out and defend the country that gave so much to us, and yeah, there's a lot of things still wrong with the country, but overall, ladies and gentlemen, we have it the best here. We have it the best. I travel the world. I'm not saying this because I'm the best or whatever, because I know everything. No, through personal experience, I travel the world. I've been to the Philippines. I've been to the Middle East. I've been to the I've been to Europe. And even though Europe has their freedoms, they still they don't have the American Constitution like we have. They don't have the rights and freedoms we have. The Philippines are a beautiful place, but unfortunately, it's just like Mexico, where I've been numerous times now. They just don't have the same rights and freedoms that we have, and so many people shit on the flag every day. I don't mean to cuss, but it just makes me so mad because I personally had friends and family die for this country, and it just makes me so mad to see players who feel that they're quote unquote oppressed by the American government, that they're making millions of dollars doing this, and I love the decision that came out from the NFL. If you don't like to stand for the flag, keep your ass in the locker room. Now, one unsung hero, which I think he's regretting his decision, which is Alejandro Villanueva. Now, this guy's a true American patriot. When he first came out, it really sunk home to me, because here he served as a Army Ranger, which is a really, it's a hard group to get into. For those who are in the Army, for everybody else, it is an elite group of people who, soldiers who join a battalion, or you just happen to get your Ranger tab and move on. But this guy, Villanueva, understood the whole thing of standing for your brothers and sisters, stand for your flag, upholding his oath that he took to his country. And it's just a great thing that he's done. It really brought a tear to my eye that out of all this BS that's going on, you have one beautiful American, standing for the flag, standing for his country, standing for what's right, And like I said, Johnny Cash explained it the best. He's like, and one of my heroes, one of my best favorite music artists out there. He said you can burn the flag and everything else like that, but also have the amendment, the right to bear arms. I'm going to shoot your ass. But then he follows up with love, because that's what American does, is to show you through love and through peace, we are the last shining bright here in the world. England and Canada are close seconds, but we ultimately are the eye of the beholder throughout the world. So Villanueva, I strongly support this dude. His jersey sales went up overnight. For those who don't know, or I didn't even know who the hell he was, to be honest with you, because like I said, I don't watch sports no more. So, anyways, his jersey sales went through the roof the following day, and now he's coming out saying, "I threw the Steeler teammates under the bus intentionally by standing for the national anthem." Look, dude, you did the right thing. You didn't throw them under the bus. They want to disrespect the country and not stand for the flag. Oh well, man, you made the most best decision you ever could do throughout your career. Look at your jersey sales alone. People vote through the dollars, dude. Don't let them get to you, man. And unfortunately, I think they're already getting to him. Tomlin, their coach, got to him saying that, it's a horrible decision that he's done. He's not a teammate. Look, man, he's made promises to his teammate, dude. His teammates were the men and women who, fought for this country. Could you say the same thing, Tomlin? I highly doubt it, And it's just I really think that this guy should be unapologetic for what he's done. Because now it's, he did the right thing. He did the right thing, and I wholly support Donald Trump in his decision. And I think he should hit back to the NFL even harder. Hit back to CNN and the liberal left even harder. And you at home should, if you're into sports or whatever, into the NFL, should hit back even harder. Should boycott them. Should not watch it. Because if you're a true loving American, you shouldn't be standing for this. Yeah, it's your right and everything. They have the right. Just like they have the right to burn the flag, they have the right to kneel at the national anthem, but it's very, 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 very disrespectful. And like I said, a lot of Americans have died for this country. So I do want to follow up with a statement that George posted on his Facebook, and he pretty much says, I had enough of pro sports and their and elitist Hollywood browbeating average Americans over legally elected current sitting president. Your level of derangement is no longer amusing or humorous. It is boring and childish. We all get it. You hate Trump. You hate all supporters. What you fail to understand is we are also the people who pay for your lifestyles. You are here to entertain us. You are the 21st century's version of a circus act. George, I got to give it to you, man. Beautiful. Stick to what you're good at. Throwing a ball, pretending to be a doctor, or an evil villain. George, I think they're already doing that now. None of these things qualify you as an expert of anything. Go complain about being a press millionaire somewhere else. Thank you. George, beautifully said, and if we were in studio, I guarantee he would have said it that much better without me butchering the damn statement. So, again, back to the whole NFL thing. I want to hear your questions, your comments, your both pro, against what I'm saying, because this is an issue that needs to be brought up. Yeah, are people being oppressed throughout America? Of course they are. But is it one single group that's being oppressed, or is it a number of people being oppressed as a whole? What I'm trying to say is it just localized to what the mainstream media says, to black individuals, African Americans being oppressed, only being shot by police, even though the numbers, we have gone over the numbers multiple times, saying that white males have been shot by the police more over than any race in America as it currently sits. But where are those numbers, MSNBC? Where are those numbers, CNN? Of course, you're not going to find them. And that's why it pays for you at home to do your research, for you to find out the information that we look up here at the stand. And it's just really, it's just really this whole narrative that's been going on. Last year it was, your white privilege has got you where you're at and stuff like that. Hey, look, I get speeding tickets just like you at home. It doesn't make me that much better than you. The cops. See, the beautiful thing about law is, folks, the law doesn't see race. It doesn't see color. It doesn't see anything else. Hell, you could be an orange Martian from Mars. And guess what? As long as you're following, you still have the law to abide by here in America. And so people want to manipulate and say that the whole narrative about the police is just that it is targeting a specific group, stuff like that, and it's just really it's BS. It's really got to the point where we have to start coming around this, and we're coming up a couple campaigns. Hopefully they turn out for the better. So look forward to that. And you at home, we have to start voicing our opinions, voting by our dollars. Are you voting? Are you going to be continuing to watch the NFL, or are you going to not watch the national anthem part? I like to hear your comments. And so, anyways, it's just a really upsetting thing to see right now. It's just insane that they like to look at this whole narrative. They're pushing this whole narrative, this anti-American, this anti-constitutional thing, where they're going to get their way one way or another. And so by not standing for the anthem, by not standing up for saying that they're oppressed and everything else, it follows the tailcoats of communism. And you could say what you want or whatever, but I sincerely believe that these are paid people or part of a group that's being force fed this BS, and done by George Soros, Media Matters, and it's pushing this narrative onto the rest of the American public, saying that a certain demographic in America is being just horribly punished. Even though that's not the case, folks, we all know it. But I know you, the people at home watching, you know what's going on. But we do have to get ahead of this. We have to start changing the narrative. We have to start voicing our opinions, just like how the left keeps voicing their opinions. So we do have to get around this, ladies and gentlemen. So my other thing was, why didn't the NFL let the players, after to memorialize 9/11, to help support that, with the NFL players' shoes, with the 9/11 shoes that were a beautiful pair of shoes, but they wouldn't let him wear it because they were a political view, and matter of fact, let me pull that up now so I can get the wording right on it. Let's see, 9/11 shoes. I mean, in solidarity with 9/11 and all the people who died, unfortunately, in that incident, wasn't allowed to wear these shoes. Rumor, this is Snoop's, whatever. But anyways, not allowed to wear them. Never forget 9/11/01, in memorial for those who died, standing in solidarity, had the American flag on it, but wasn't allowed to wear them. Just like how Brandon Marshall wasn't allowed to wear shoes for autism awareness. They're like the bright green shoes, but he wasn't allowed to wear those either. So I mean, why is the NFL choosing to go along with this anti-American garbage? To say that these people are oppressed, even though they're making millions of dollars, and I'm not missing for those who think that I'm missing the point about it's not about the players, it's about the guys who are in the ghettos and stuff like that. Look, we all had a choice at one point in time in our lives. I was poor, even though Bernie Sanders says that white people don't know what it's like to be poor. Trust me, go ask the Appalachians how poor they are. Go ask the people, living on the streets. Go ask the people, in the backwoods. Ask, the rest of the people who live in the ghetto who are just not black. How about those people, Bernie Sanders? There are poor people, unfortunately, everywhere throughout the United States. No matter race, color, creed, they're there. They are there. And no matter what you say, Bernie Sanders, your narrative will come down just like all the others. So it's up to you, the person, the individual. What do you have in your heart? What willpower do you have? Are you the one just to stand by and let the world, burn? Or are you going to stand up and try to change it? Yeah, the world's not perfect, especially not the United States. But from where we were to where we are now, folks, it's night and day. I promise you, it's night and day. And it's just really sad to see that they want to bring what's left of this country down. And we do have to get ahead of the narrative. We do have to start standing for liberty. We do have to stand for our rights and freedoms before they're all gone. And now, it's just, and all the things that we have done in America, and all the good that has been brought to the people of the world, thanks to our innovations, our will, our drive, our patriotism. All because of, some anti-American, some communist scum want to come in here, and some fascist scum, and want to bring down America because it is their crown jewel, and it's just like it's like Catwoman trying to steal the biggest diamond in the world. They want that. They want to bring it down. Anyways, I want to hear your comments, your concerns, and everything else like that. post that up to this link, and they'll be posted up to the Facebook as well. I mean, to the website. Sorry, it's a little bit late. Speaking of the website, check out the website, stanshow.com. Purchase a shirt. I have them sitting right over there. That's the warehouse in my office at home. You know, supplies are limited. What you see on the actual website is still the old store. It's just I'm trying to get around all the mechanics on how to run the store. I never really made something like that before, but it is coming surely but slowly. I'm still trying to navigate PayPal, so bear with me. But if you do want a shirt, don't let that website throw you off or anything. Message us directly, your size, your what color you want, and we'll get it out to you. You know, but like I said, supplies are limited unless you want to purchase a shirt through the website. That could be done as well. So, but if you want a shirt, purchased with the ones that we have printed off at a cheaper price, which I strongly recommend, then message us on Facebook or at thestandshow@gmail.com. You can also purchase a shirt that way. For now, until I get the store up, that's the only way you can purchase a shirt. If you don't want to purchase a shirt, just share, like, and subscribe to our channels, our Facebook, our YouTube. Check out the site. The more traffic we have, the better it is. And so, again, all your support is highly appreciated. I'm telling you, it just feels it feels so good, folks. It feels so good. Trust me. From having 10 when we first started off 2 years ago to 2 away from 200 people liking the Facebook page alone, it just a huge gratitude, and I hope that we're really bringing the changing your minds. Well, not change your minds, but at least informing you of what's going on in the world, and letting you decide for your own opinions, and then you can share those opinions or share our article, our videos and stuff like that, so people can get a different viewpoint from Fox or anywhere else. So, anyways, moving on. So Saudi Arabia, the loving Saudis, right, who are the capital, if you would say, I mean, besides Mecca, but this is a true political capital in Islam, has now officially decided, after ever, to let women drive, even though they're part of the Council for Civil something or other. I gotta look it up. But yeah, they are finally able to drive after millennia, folks. And I'm not making this up. Look it up for yourself. They want to say, "Oh, love us," but how are we going to love somebody when they're finally letting their women drive? After almost at the end of 2017, folks, it's almost the end of the year, so you might as well say it's almost 2018 by the time they're letting the women drive. I mean, what kind of race, society, religion does that? I mean, the only people I truly see is these guys here, but they want to say that, oh, we're loving. You have to accept us, accept Sharia law. And I guarantee, folks, the only reason why they're letting them do this is because Donald Trump. Now, the reason why I come back to it is because even though he didn't tweet about it, even though he didn't publicly come out about it, if you all remember, a couple months ago, he did go to that, now it's like the international terrorist hunt down thing sponsored by Saudi Arabia, whatever it is. I still think that was the worst deal. We give them all this money for weapons and crap. Whatever. So anyways, I'm trying to find out, because I want to say that they're part of the Council of Human Rights. There it is. Council of Human Rights, sponsored by your loving Saudi Arabia. Sorry, my memory is not what it used to be. So anyways, Council of Human Rights, and yet they don't even let their damn women drive, folks. I mean, talk about such hypocrite. I can't say a word. Whatever. It's hypocrite. Sorry, man, I'm just off my game. So anyways, a bunch of hypocrites now are finally letting, at the end, the fourth quarter of 2017, to let their women drive and to finally walk among the men equally. I'm just joking. They're still going to walk 10 feet behind them because that's still part of the religion, where women are still lesser than goats. Unfortunately, I mean, it's just this goat here, a woman, could use, more of their brain than the actual goat. So, I mean, there's, this picture here off the New York Times, Saudi Arabia agrees to. Saudi Arabia agrees, it's like, oh, they twist their arm to let women drive. So that's a headline off the New York Times. I think it's pretty funny. That's a good headline, actually. And down in the picture below, it shows a woman in a modern car, just looking lost, man. Unfortunately, I mean, you can't really see too much of her facial expressions because, of course, they got the beekeeper suit on. And, so I'm pretty sure she's smiling ear to ear underneath that veil. But you'll never know, Unfortunately, they want to keep their women enslaved. And so that's the best way to keep your women enslaved, by showing absolutely nothing about them, that they're subhuman. It's just really sad thing to see. But they agreed to let their women drive, ladies and gentlemen. So it's just well, good for Saudi Arabia, that they're finally letting the women come into the 21st century. But they're loving, all the liberals love the Muslim religion. Linda Sauer is their Lord and Savior, and I gotta find that tweet that she put out the other day. George sent it out to me and Lance. I find it was the most comical thing, and it goes something along the lines of, why did Trump put a travel ban on North Korea? It's not like they're lining up at the gates, pretty much. I'm paraphrasing. They're not lining up the gates to get into the country, and it's like, hello, lady, do you not watch the news? Do you not hear about the rockets flying over Japan at all? I mean, are we truly in upside down land? That's what it equates to, and but the left loves her because she put on a American flag hijab, but that makes her patriotic American, even though it's been proven that her family's into the genital mutilation and all the other stuff that the Orthodox Muslims do to the women. But, she's loving, she still practices religion and, will stand up there and, So, anyways, that's that. It's just a, welcome to 21st century women of Saudi Arabia. It's so sad, man. So sad. So sad. But, they're loving. We're liberal. Accept them. All right, so moving on. So I do have to find that tweet about North Korea. Anyways, North Korea, you keep pushing and you will see what Donald Trump has to offer you, President Trump, because unfortunately, Japan is not going to stand for this any longer. They are allies. That was in my eyes, launching a missile over Japan is a declaration of war. But that's just me. Thank God I'm not in the White House. Otherwise, I think they'd have been nuked a long time ago. But that's just me. Obamacare, survives again, all because of loving John McCain. John McCain, the Democrat. Say what you want. Whether it's out of spite of Trump's tweets towards him and what he said towards him. Despite that, I mean, if he truly was a people for Arizona, which their prices and premiums and everything else is just through the roof, but he doesn't care about that. He cares on what it looks like and what his future is going to look like after possibly him getting out of the Senate. So, he goes up there with his little tumor self and no, like a little hobgoblin or something, a little goblin creature up there, and it's just it reminds me of Ernest Scared Stupid, that little goblin creature, yeah, that little troll. But anyways, Obamacare survives. GOP concedes on last grasp repeal try. So there you go, folks. And then, of course, you got the loving Paul Ryan up there. Oh, I don't know what happened. Dude, you know what happened, man. You probably voted against the crap anyway. So, anyways, Obamacare is still around, even though the Republicans for years and years and years said, oh, we got to get rid of this crap. And here we are, still with Obamacare. Like I said several times on the show while in studio, they just need to scrap the damn thing, start over again, and hopefully they can come to a better insurance than what the hell they got now. So, yeah, Obamacare is still hanging, still thriving, still, jacking up those premiums, folks, because they love those premiums. So, yeah, good try, Republicans, but try harder next time. And, so, again, before we get into our next subject, take the stand for liberty, folks. Check out the website. Purchase a shirt if you don't want to purchase a shirt. Share and like, subscribe to our channels, our Facebook, our YouTube. Go on our website. The traffic even helps just by you visiting. And, take the stand for liberty. Go out there. Be our voice out there. Continue what we're saying. Or continue your own thoughts, if you concur with what we're saying, awesome, man. That's what's it about. It's a community thing. It's not just about me up here on soapbox or whatever. It's about all of us coming together. Hopefully we can get around this thing and start turning the tides. And, like during this whole NFL protest thing, Villanueva, you start doing the right thing, people start to see the right thing being done, and his jersey sales went up. So, that's what we have to support with our dollar. And I don't think he should be apologetic. I really don't. But of course, he has his politics, and of course he has to think about his future, his career. And so maybe, oh man, I'm so sorry for throwing my teammates on the bus, even though he did the moral right thing. So anyway, support the broadcast. Vote with your dollar. If you don't want to purchase a shirt, like I said, like, share, and support our YouTube channel, or this channel, Facebook channel. Send out the links, and tell people about us, because that's when we're going to grow and hopefully get back on radio. We are talking with the station. We're talking with other stations now. And hopefully we can get picked up through there and try to get sponsors as well. Because unfortunately, money is the thing that makes the world go round. And I wish I could, I love doing this. Trust me, I love it. It's just, in order to reach more people, you need more money. So that's where it stands. It's just a cool thing. I just can't get up on radio and start broadcasting, because obviously it costs a lot of money. So, your financial support will help this broadcast to hopefully reach other people, like-minded individuals, and start, forming a community and getting together and defeating this bullcrap that's happening around the world. So, again, thank you so much for the support so far. We are just 2 likes away on our Facebook page from hitting 200 now. We've been on almost 3 years now. We really didn't push as hard during the first year. The second year, it was like year and a half. We started, hey, what are we going to do with this thing? We're just going to make it a project, or we want to try to make this into something big. And so myself and Lance at the time decided to go on radio and really make this into something. Unfortunately, that contract didn't work out, and so, but we did pick up a third wheel. Even though this wheel is great, I love George. His history is just unbelievable. His breakdown analysis is just unreal. I mean, to call a week before Tim Allen said it that there was a Hollywood starting to look like 1939 Nazi Germany. A week before Tim Allen said it on the Kimmel Show. I mean that, ladies and gentlemen, shows that history is repeating itself, and George is on key. I appreciate his thoughts and insight. Lance, is just an incredible person, even though he's goofy at times. His thoughts and insights are just amazing. And I think the three of us together, with our different viewpoints and everything, I think really, do a great job for the show. But if you have questions, comments, you want to see something, or we're not, talking about something that you guys want to hear, send us a shout out. Leave a comment. We respond to our stuff on our videos. We like the people comments. Trust me, exercise that First Amendment. Because I don't know how long Facebook will allow people like this show to be on, because not only do they want to get rid of the free speech of the conservatives, but they want to shut down the president. They want to get rid of all opposition wherever they can. So, like I said, I don't know how long this is going to go on for, but as if we come together as a community and all take the stand for liberty, we can finally beat this. So, take the stand for liberty, folks, because who knows how much time we got. So I mean, we do last a little bit longer than the end of the world, apparently. For those who don't know, Planet X was supposed to come in, close quarters with the Earth and stuff like that. Those who've been following it, obviously, I didn't bring it up because of things of that nature and their track record, which isn't so hot. You had 2012, you had some other incidents where the world was going to end a couple times, and yet I'm still talking with you. So that's why I don't really buy into those end of the world things anymore. I used to back in the day, and just get freaked out and everything. Like, oh man, it's really happening, and I start seeing the pattern. And if something like that was going to happen, ladies and gentlemen, there's no stopping it either way. So I mean, if the supervolcano underneath Yellowstone decides to blow tomorrow, there's nothing we could do. There's nothing we could prep for that. I mean, unless we go find a cave real quick and burrow underground. But even at that, the world will be blackened for years, and by the time you get out, shit's going to be dead anyway. So I mean, there's nothing you can really do with that one. Major earthquake strikes California tomorrow, San Andreas Fault, which seismic activity has been showing up all over the place. From the two major earthquakes down in Mexico, now sending mini quakes up to the San Andreas Fault, and California decides to break off. Folks, there's nothing we can do about that. We just have to adapt and overcome with the best we can. So natural disasters and stuff like that. Again, there's nothing we can do. I had a lot of. The reason I bring that up because there was a lot of concern. The following weeks up to the 23rd of September, which everybody says, which was going to be the end of the world. Obviously, now it's already the 26th, I believe, right? 26th? I don't know. But anyways, 26, 27, 26. But anyways, natural disasters, folks. If it happens, it happens. Nothing we can do about it. I'm more worried about civil war popping off here in America than anything. I'm not even really worried about Kim Jong-un over there in North Korea launching a missile anytime soon. I'm more worried about what's happening here on the home front, and how to prepare for that. So you as an individual have to prep your family in case of something, I think, happens to that. Obviously, if it's an isolated incident in a city or multiple cities, it could be shut down pretty fast. If it happens in your city, you got to think what's the steps that are going to happen. The National Guard's going to be called in. Well, first the police, National Guard, and it's just going to be escalation of force every time, if there's like pockets of resistance or whatever. And so do you want your family in that situation? Do you think you can withstand a civil war within your city? And so you have to start doing research. You have to start looking at things. What items do you need? Do you think the grocery store is going to have supplies for you and your family? Do you think you have enough water for 3-4 days? Do you have enough food for 3 or 4 days? Depending on the size of your family as well. If it's just you and your wife, you can sustain, probably a week's worth, stretching your food out, stretching your rations out, and everything else like that. But if you have a large family, especially small kids like myself, they're monsters. For those who have kids at home, you understand what I'm talking about. Or had small kids. Their insatiable appetites just keep going and going and going because their body is growing. So you have to prepare. You have to get your water, your basic survival needs ready in case you do have to bunker down in your house and you're in a martial law type situation where you are in a curfew, or if you are able to even leave your house at all. Do you have the supplies? And you can't necessarily depend on your government. We've seen what happened down Hurricane Katrina. I'm not saying that FEMA is horrible, but they did drag their feet during that situation. So you always have to prepare for the worst and hope for the best. But always prepare for the worst. That's one thing that the Army has taught me, and I hold on to a lot of things the Army's taught me, trust me. But that one always echoes time and time again. So always prepare for the worst, and hopefully you come out on top. So hopefully a civil war doesn't break out. I truly don't want this to happen. But if the liberal left and the Antifa groups and all the anti-American garbage keep pushing, there's not going to be no other option except for that, ladies and gentlemen. So, always be prepared because you never know what's going to happen. It could be a natural disaster, and affects, I'm here in Las Vegas. It might affect Las Vegas somehow. And so you just always have to prepare for things of that nature. So, going on, now the Fed Chair Janet Yellen signaling talks of economic uncertainty. Now, we've been talking about how the true numbers of the stock market, especially Lance, he's the number guru, I like to say. He's the guy who looks at all those dizzying charts and all those graphs and crap like that. But anyways, so while the numbers on the top are looking great, better than ever, things are just out of control, great, all thanks to President Trump. The underbelly of everything, just like, everything else is just, doesn't look that great. And so Janet Yellen says her meeting with economists and blue-collar workers talks of economic uncertainty. This article coming out of the LA Times, there's no surprise. And she just basically goes on saying that what I've just said, where, everything on the top looks fantastic, but, can we sustain this way? Can we keep going the way we can? And ultimately, those who challenge the Fed, like Abraham Lincoln and John F. Kennedy, ultimately pay the sacrifice. And you can say, oh man, it's just a conspiracy theory or whatever. Look, folks, 2 presidents, both of them, wanted to get rid of the U.S. dollar, the dollar that was in place at the time, in both of their terms, and to replace it with the greenback, which was a one-for-one trade to, basically get us back on track, get rid of that debt that, we supposedly owed for basically. So basically, when the government borrows $100 from the federal bank, they put interest on it. When the government now has that $100, they put an interest rate. They tack on interest to the smaller banks. So it's just this cumulative debt that we're always increasing for money supposedly that, is not even American. It's just printed in American. because they are the Fed, which is a separate entity, and they're not even considered part of the U.S. They're a whole separate entity, they're their own state and everything else like that. But they don't want to tell you that, you know. But she'll go up, all American, I got my little house in the Hamptons and stuff like that. I'm Janet Yellen. My clothes are so expensive that if I get them dirty, the cleaning bill is $1,000. So that type of rich. So anyways, they're saying that the interest rates are not where they should be, that they should be going up. But now since they have stayed zero, we're not profiting anything. And so now we're, in the hard numbers, she says that we're actually decreasing and it's time to bump up the interest rates. But if they bump up the interest rates now, it's going to crash the market and it all goes to crap. So is the Fed signaling that they're going to increase the interest rates anyways? And I think this will be the ultimate Trump's takedown right here. I truly believe that the economy would surely sink him. This guy has already it's already 7 months, dude. He's already been in. And look at the battles he had to face just even being a presidential candidate. It's just crazy. So, it's just another battle that he has to face, that we have to face. And ultimately, yes, the Federal Reserve, the federal bank, does hold power over our government. As Rockefeller, clearly stated that, you give me that, paraphrasing again, you give me the banks, you give me the nation's money and I control the power. I don't need an army. And so this is what we're seeing now with the Federal Reserve, basically holding the nation hostage once again with the good God Almighty dollar bill. Threatening people's lives pretty much. Look at her, man. So evil with those black beady eyes, dude. I'm telling you. Anyways, so I just want to point that out. That again, over the course of 7 months now, myself, Lance, and George have warned of this financial collapse. Have warned you guys at home that it is out there. From Greenspan to Yellen, from talking heads on every news channel, saying that there's something wrong with the economy, and while it looks good on the surface, the bottom is the foundation is not structurally sound, folks. I'm not pushing any company. Trust me, we're not sponsored by any company yet. I wish we were. But anyways, silver is the way to go. However you get it, just make sure you get it in your hands, a physical form of silver, because that's the only way you have proof. It's in your hands. It's yours. It's 99% pure, and that's the only way you can bet against the stock market. Now, if you have a little bit more money, more power to you. Get a couple of gold ounces. That's going for like $1,300 an ounce right now. So if you're able to swing that, I strongly recommend in gold. If I can afford gold, trust me, folks, I would get gold by the boatloads. But unfortunately, my white privilege, my white supremacy, my racism, and all this stuff hasn't bowed out for me so well. So unfortunately, I do have to purchase silver, along with the rest of the people of the United States, the 98% of Americans who have to purchase silver instead of gold just to survive in a possible economic collapse. So, that's how far my privilege goes, unfortunately. It's just so disgusting that this race war thing that they want to spark is just really saddening. The country, when I came home, ladies and gentlemen, back in 2011, the country that I was in a bubble. I was really in a bubble that the Army created, and I came home and I really started to see the true America, what I was fighting for, and it was a really big eye opener. And I think if I would have stayed in, I would have never done the show. So I'm glad that I came home. I got out of the Army, and I started to see what I was truly fighting for and what garbage I was fighting for. Because look, these people are so unpatriotic now. I thought 2011 people were unpatriotic. We're just mindless zombies walking around, not really seeing what was going on around them. And I'm over here, I was like, damn, I've been to Afghanistan, I've been to Iraq, and those people have it bad, man. I'm telling you, when you're driving down, when I was going through Firebase Lagman in Kalat, Afghanistan, and I was, you're driving in an LMTV, which is a 5-ton troop carrier truck or whatever, and you start seeing these villages and how they're made out of like sandstone and rock and brick and sticks and stuff like that. And you see a goat herder way out in the middle of nowhere, just like, man, this is so crazy. It really was going back in time, folks. That image I will always be etched into my brain. Same with Iraq. After being in Mexico now, I mean, Iraq is, and the Philippines are almost equivalent to one another. They all have second, third world country problems, really, and I blame the governments. The government again doesn't help them, and even though they quote unquote try to help them, you have Nieto, the Mexican president right now, having his family up in Beverly Hills shopping for, Chanel or Prada or whatever else, And it's just really sad to see because there are great people within those countries. Even I was talking with the interpreters and stuff like that. They don't want that lifestyle, man. When I was in Iraq and Afghanistan, they don't want that lifestyle. They want to be Americans. And so, unfortunately, yeah, you want to be Americans, dude, but you have to apply for citizenship along with everybody else. You have to do it the right way. So, I still firmly believe, still stand by my beliefs. Even though it caused a lot of turmoil within my own family. I know on my mom's side of the family, they're very liberal, very Californian. I don't hate them, it's just, I wish they didn't see those views. Unfortunately, they do. And so, yeah, we get into it. I lost a lot of friends and family off my Facebook, my personal Facebook. I'm pretty sure you at home have went through the same battles, I mean, in my immediate family, I've been through some battles, and lost a lot of friends that way and everything else. But you know what? I mean, I guess if you were to see the world through my eyes, you would understand. And, I think a lot of you at home understand, what it's like to be an American, what pride there is to go along with that. And yeah, we are the best country in the world, and we have to be proud of that, because, again, a lot of men and women sacrifice their lives for this country to be where it's at, I'm not saying, and the men and women of the police force, and the fire departments, and all the other social workers, besides the Congress and Senate sometimes, have really made this country great, and it's really time that we make it great again and better, so, although I applaud Trump, President Trump, and all he's done, I just wish that the damn senators and congressmen would stop looking out for themselves and start thinking about the American people once again. So it's very saddening, very disheartening. Like I said, coming back from, I sort of understand what my dad was going through when he came back from Vietnam and, had rocks and tomatoes thrown at him for fighting a war over there in Vietnam, So, I mean, I sort of felt the same. I could possibly, feel what he was feeling when he's coming back off the bus and stuff like that. So just to give you a little insight from where I'm coming from, and it's just a really, folks, a sad thing to see what's happening to our country. It really is. But like I said, if we can come together, take the stand for liberty, that's the only way we're going to beat these fools from Oxford Street. But now George sent me a video yesterday, actually, and I'm going to have him break it down a little bit more with his thoughts and insight, along with Lance. Hopefully next week, if we don't have too many things going on. We are pretty busy. But George sent me this video, and it shows a white Antifa member, marching along with his compatriots at the Berkeley one, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he gets betrayed pretty much by his own people. And now they're saying that he's white, he's the problem. And so now he's faced with the dilemma. He comes up and confronts this woman that was saying, oh, he's the problem. You're punching your allies, referencing, they're punching the patriots and everything else like that. That he wasn't a part of the Antifa movement no more because he was white. So what position does that put him in? So many thoughts and questions were coming to my mind. What is he going to do next? Is he going to magically switch over to the other side now? Because now he's the one who is a problem according to Antifa. He's white. He's a problem. He's a racist now. And it's just fascinating to see that their own people are going against them. It's just, although George said that this would happen, and it has happened, those who start the revolution will ultimately succumb to it, And it's just insane to see, folks, that this is happening. But I'm glad it's happening, and that hopefully at the other end of it, he wakes up and actually sees that, he wants to fight, but he doesn't know what he's fighting for. And so he thinks he's going to be a trendy and jump on the bandwagon, and hopefully he's served his cause. He served that fight, because it's just that, I think a lot of Americans out there who are part of Antifa are pissed, and they don't know how to express themselves. They want to be they want to be all trendy. They want to be everything. And so they jump on the Antifa movement because, yes, the government sucks and they're not seeing anything out of it. They don't want to join the Patriots and everything because they're pro-American and that's against their thing. So they join Antifa, and now Antifa's kicking them out. So is there going to be two Antifa parties? Is there going to be people of color Antifa and then white Antifa? This, a lot of questions could be asked. Or are they just going to eliminate all the people all the white people out of Antifa? And then, so what are the white people who still share those viewpoints but are now kicked out of the group? It's very fascinating. Very fascinating to see the breakdown and everything else. So, I sort of want to see where that goes. Just amazing. So just a little bit of light news there for you before we sign off tonight. And hopefully join us next Tuesday, Lord willing, with George and Lance. Not just myself rambling on for, an hour or so. But it's just craziness. And we must beat this. We must get ahead of it. And we must come together, folks. So share, like, support the broadcast. Share this link. Check out the website. Purchase a shirt, like I said earlier, in the big promo piece. If you don't want a shirt purchased from the Zazzle store or whatever, message me. I got some here in the warehouse. I say it lightly. In the warehouse, and I have different colors. Just tell me what you want, what size you wear, and I can get you at a cheaper price. We're selling those shirts at $15. I just trying to get the mechanics of the new store up and running, so then when you guys log on, everything runs smooth and we have no problems, no crazy orders where you push a button, orders 5 for you or whatever. So bear with me. The new store will be up shortly, soon, I hope. And take the stand for liberty, folks. I do appreciate your support. Like I said, we're 2 likes away from hitting 200 on the Facebook page, and we have more and more people hitting up the YouTube channel. It's just a awesome thing to see. And again, all the monies that we get from the shirt sales or whatever else monetary we get, go right back to the show, because we do want to get back on radio. That was truly amazing, man. I from not coming from that background at all, and then having three guys pretty much off the street talking with thousands of people here in the Las Vegas Valley was just it was amazing. It was truly amazing, and with your support, I hope we can get back on the air. So again, ladies and gentlemen, Shannon Williams with the Stand, taking the stand for liberty, along with you at home, standing with me. I appreciate it so much. Check us next week, next Tuesday. So God bless you and God bless America. Take the stand, folks.